Welcome back. This is the last video for Unit 3. And this time I'll talk about differentiating value. So we talked about value, we talked about how your value is different. Let's talk about differentiation. And I want to start with not all differentiation matters. I remember when I worked at Texas Instruments and I once I delivered a session on value add differentiation. And specifically it had to be value add. And as an example, I said most chips, almost all chips in the industry, chips as in semiconductor integrated circuits, they are black. This is their color, and the text is white. What if we, in Texas Instruments, are going to be the only company that makes red chips? Our chips are gonna be red. It is going to be differentiated, there's no doubt. We are going to be the only company that builds red chips. But the question that comes up is, who cares? Why would anybody care that the chips are red? It is not value add differentiation. So from this moment on, when I talk about differentiation, I'm talking about value add differentiation, a differentiation that actually adds value. Now, the first question you have to ask yourself is there a differentiating value in your product? So this is your competitor's product versus this is your product. Now, let's say that a big part, 90% of the value in the product is different. And not only that it's different, but that your product is 50% better. So in 90% of the value that the product generally delivers, your product is 50% better. And this goes back into the tool and the comparison that we did in previous videos. What would the added value of the whole product is, your product? Well, if it's 90%, if 90% of the value you have 50% advantage, then your overall product has 45% advantage. If this is a $1 billion market, then you have a pretty significant advantage in a $1 billion market. But what if the differentiated value is smaller than 90%? So once again, this is your competitor, this is you, and this time your 50% advantage comes only in 10% of the overall value that the product offers. What is your advantage? Well, if it's 50% advantage in only 10% of the overall value, then your value is a 5% advantage, still in a $1 billion market. Market is huge, no doubt about that, $1 billion market, but your advantage is too small for customers to switch over to your product. What do we do? This actually happened to me in the past. I had a whole product, where I had dramatic value improvement, but on a relatively small part of the product. The answer to that is that you need to compete in a different market. Instead of offering the complete solution, your current competitor that offers a complete solution might actually end up being your customer, where you offer just one part of their overall product, but you offer a 50% advantage in 100% of what you deliver to them in your part of the value chain. So maybe no longer your market is a $1 billion market. Maybe your market is now a $100 million market in that piece that you're offering, but you have a 50% advantage over everything else in the market, over the best current alternative, and therefore you win in that $100 million market. For example, you are in the market for building an app, a certain app. Well, should you be delivering the entire phone with the app? Not really. The phone manufacturer, in this case, it's really the end customer, only buys one part from you, a part where you have dramatic advantage. So it's a $100 million market where you have 50% advantage. What if you have multiple differentiations, multiple value add differentiations? So it might look like this. You have 10 different components of value where you are differentiating yourself by 5%. Another 5% here, another 5% here, another 5% here. Well, the big question is, do different customers care about different parts of the value that you're offering? Because if the answer is yes, then you really are delivering only 5% added value to different customers. Okay? But if the same customer cares about everything, every single differentiation that you have, then it's 5% plus 5% plus 5% plus. You actually have a 50% advantage for your customer. So once again, you may have multiple little 5% improvements, but one customer cares about all of them, you have a 50% advantage. I hope this made sense. I will see you in the classroom.